form. In this pattern, you'll begin to understand now why the magnetics of the earth falling and the frequency increasing, why they're so important to you. A gentleman named Hans Jenny, who's no longer with us, developed this science of cymatics back in the late 1940s. And essentially what he said is this: for every vibration, whether it's an audible sound or an inaudible frequency, for every audible or every pattern of vibration as it's projected into some media, some form of matter, there will be a predictable, repeatable, consistent pattern. And when the vibration changes, that pattern changes. And when the vibration goes back to what it was, the pattern goes back to what it was. Well, what I'd like to do now is show you a series of cymatic images so that you can see this with your own eyes, so that you can feel this with your body. There's a body resonance that I'd like for you to have before we move forward with this discussion. So what you will see now is a series of cymatic images, and I'll let you watch them, listen to them, and then we'll come back and discuss those. The image you're seeing is a cymatics image. It's the result of a vibration being projected into a media. And what you'll notice is that the higher the frequencies of the vibration that you're seeing, the more complex the patterns. As you watch carefully, you'll see these patterns will become more and more complex, resulting or being the result of increasingly complex and higher frequencies.
I just want you guys to pay attention to what you're seeing right now. This is sound creating shape. Nothing else but sound. This is just pollen. This is pollen from a plant on a black plate, These motherfuckers, all they're doing is they hooked up an electrode to the black plate where they can send vibration like from a speaker, send it right into there, and then ramp up the vibration. And every time they change the vibration, you see the form change in the pollen, which means sound creates form, or vibration and frequency creates form. Let's keep watching.
If you listen carefully, you can just barely hear these sounds. See how much more complex this image is as a result of the higher frequency.
So that's something else I want you to put in your mind. The higher the frequency, the more complex the form that is created. That also includes humans. When you are of a high vibration, you will be of a very complex, you will be a very complex, beautiful form. Simple motherfuckers who don't think about shit, their vibration is super low. You know what I'm saying?
Is this in terms of beauty?
No, this has nothing to do. It's consciousness.
Okay.
So this is about your consciousness, because it's some beautiful dumb motherfuckers.
Right. that's what I'm like. What?
Dumb motherfuckers. No. Now they will say there's been experiments that certain people would people who are more attractive have a tendency towards a higher IQ if they cultivate it. But you know, this is some studies they just showed. But again, it's all more about your consciousness. The higher the frequency of your vibration, the more complex your consciousness will be.
Since there are things around you right now that you can't see because you're not on that higher frequency.
Right. Well, the higher frequencies and vibrations, if they manifest in the physical plane, they will look very complex. So the frequency is there regardless. It's just there. When it starts to manifest in the physical plane, that's when you will see its shape, and its form will tell how high the vibration was.
Oh, I got. Well, does that mean like if you looked at a human brain and it had more crevices or something in it, that would be kind of the vibration affecting the?
Yeah, because you're thinking more. So the more thoughts and more time, the more you learn, you create more brain fibers or synapses. So the person who's more learned, he's going to have a denser brain with more synapses than the person who just goes to 7-Eleven and get a Big Gulp every day and don't do shit. So let's keep watching.
Hey, Kev, I got a question. So is this why they playing with the music?
This
The-
is why what?
Is this is why they playing with the music, like the vibration and the tone and the frequency of the music that the kids listen to today?
Yeah, absolutely. It's called mixing. So when you, in the studio, after you create you make your track, then it goes through something called mixing. And so like Dr. Dre is considered one of the best mixers in the in the game ever. But when you mix, that's when you fine tune the frequency of the sound. So the sound like boom, boom. Then you got to really fine tune it to get the right crisp bass, or fine tune it to get the vocal inflection. Like if a singer's trying to really hit a note, then I have to really mix this sound so that everybody hears and gets that note. So it's basically clearing the vibration or clarity of vibration when somebody mixes something. Now it can do that, or it can break your shit down depending on the frequency of the vibration. That's why I say rock music is on some other bullshit. Rock music, it looks like chaos. That would probably look like chaos in this pop. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's insane. But you know what I'm saying? It depends on what vibration you're on. Music can affect your vibration, but ultimately what vibration you're on chooses what music you listen to.
This is being narrated by a gentleman named Dr. Peter Guy Manners. And you'll hear Dr. Manners' voice throughout as we see these different cymatics images. These sounds are being projected into a media of lycopodium. It is the spore of the mugwort plant. And it's the lycopodium, the particles of lycopodium that you're seeing in motion throughout. Now, this particular image, watch what happens as the frequencies increase. If you were to look at a single particle, it would look like it was in chaos. And when you back off and look at the overall particles, you see there is a very high order.
Transition to a mobile flowing phase. And back again to the figure.
So when things are transitioning from vibration to vibration, they look messy. You just called it the transition phase. So when you're moving, you just don't go from form to form. You have to go from form. Then when you're moving to a different level of vibration, it may look messy, but it's still an order to it. Everything is still on a certain path. And as long as you continue with that vibration and frequency, you will eventually reach that path or form.
Kind of like marching bands when they do that.
Exactly.
Shit makes no sense until you look at it from a distance
Yep.
at an angle.
Yep. And now you're starting to see that's what the Kabbalion meant by as above, so below. You're no different. Cells move in this way. All your cells look like that. Everything looks like that. Atoms, particles. So just like you said, a band, right? Take a band when they're trying to make up a word or something like that, or a form, you know what I'm saying, or some type of shape on the field. When they make that shape, it looks beautiful. Then when they're transitioning into another shape, it looks like chaos until they hit it, bam. So you're right, exactly the same thing.
The sonorous figures represent stationary waves. But now we can also observe moving waves. Here, the sand is flowing the current.
I want you to pay attention to the flowing up, boom, and then goes right to order.
Look at the rotational effect that you're seeing here. As the frequencies increase, the system responds through rotation.
Spin.
And you'll see this very well in the next few seconds.
When the wave length is forced, these currents produce a rotary effect. Areas become defined in which the particles are actually rotating.
Rotating. Look at that.
Now look at this. If you did not know any better, You may believe that you are looking at an image of interstellar space through a telescope. These look like galaxies. What is it that drives the rotational
Or
effect?
hurricanes.
What is it that drives the rotation
Exactly.
of the planets? What is it that drives and impacts the rotation of Earth? Now, what we've seen up until now are single signals, single frequencies projected in the matter. What you're seeing here now are interference patterns of 2 or more frequencies resulting in a pulse, the pulse of the human heart, the pulse that drives the blood through the veins in your bodies. What is your heart responding to? Where does that pulse come from? These systems look almost alive.
Look at that.
Simply the result of vibration. When the vibration stops, the patterns stop.